My mother ruined my wedding at the reception. The dress, the smile, the lie. The wedding had been perfect. At least, that was what everyone kept saying. Soft gold lights wrapped around the reception hall like a warm promise. Crystal chandeliers reflected laughter and music. Guests filled the room in elegant colors, glasses raised, smiles wide. Cameras flashed. Applause followed every small moment. Ariel Johnson stood beside her husband, Marcus Johnson, her fingers still trembling slightly from the weight of the vows she had spoken an hour earlier. Mrs. Johnson. She smiled at the thought. Marcus leaned in and whispered, "You okay?" She nodded. "I'm just happy." And she was. Truly. For 3 years, they had fought for this day, through long work hours, through money stress, through quiet arguments and loud dreams. They had paid for the wedding themselves. No loans. No handouts. No favors. Especially not from her mother. Lorraine Carter sat at the family table, dressed in a deep red gown that shimmered a little too loudly. She smiled often, laughed on cue, hugged guests warmly. But Ariel knew that smile. She had grown up watching it. That smile always meant something was coming. The DJ tapped the microphone. "Ladies and gentlemen," he announced, "we'll now hear a few words from the bride's mother." Ariel stiffened. She turned quickly to Marcus. "She didn't tell me she wanted to speak." Marcus frowned. "Maybe it's just congratulations." Ariel swallowed. "I hope so." Lorraine stood slowly, accepting the microphone like it belonged to her. The room quieted. Guests leaned forward, smiling, ready for emotion. Lorraine laughed softly. "Wow," she said. "My baby is married." Polite laughter followed. She dabbed her eyes. "I remember when Ariel was little. Always stubborn. Always thought she knew better than her mother." Ariel's smile tightened. Lorraine continued, "I tried to guide her, protect her. But some children don't listen." The room shifted. A few heads tilted. Marcus glanced at Ariel. "This feels off." Lorraine smiled wider. "When Ariel met Marcus, I warned her to slow down, to be careful. But love can make people blind." Silence began creeping into the hall. "And today," Lorraine said calmly, "I just want the truth to be spoken, before it's too late." Ariel's heart dropped. "What truth?" Ariel whispered. Lorraine took a breath. "Marcus," she said, turning toward him, "do you know why I was against this wedding?" Marcus stood slowly. "Ma'am, if there's something—" "You deserve to know," Lorraine interrupted. "Because no man should marry a woman who has been lying to him." Gasps rippled through the hall. Ariel stepped forward. "Mom, stop." Lorraine ignored her. "Ask her about the money," she said. "Ask her who helped her pay for school. Ask her what she hid from you." Ariel's voice shook. "You're lying." Lorraine laughed softly. "Am I?" She turned to the guests. "My daughter walked down this aisle pretending she did everything alone. But she didn't." Marcus looked confused. "Ariel." Lorraine dropped the final blow. "She took money from another man years ago. A married man. And I have proof." The room exploded. Whispers. Phones lifted. Shocked faces. Ariel felt the floor tilt. "That's not true," she cried. "You know it isn't." Lorraine met her eyes. "I told you not to marry him," she said coldly. "You embarrassed me by not listening." Marcus stepped back. Not from Ariel, but from the room. "Everyone," he said firmly, "this reception is over." The DJ froze. Guests stared. Ariel reached for Marcus's hand. "Please." "She's lying. You know me." He squeezed her fingers. "I know you. But I won't fight rumors in public." He turned to Lorraine. "You wanted attention," he said calmly. "You got it." Lorraine smirked. Ariel felt tears burn her eyes, not from shame, but from betrayal. Her own mother. At her wedding. As guests awkwardly began leaving, Ariel stood alone in her white gown, surrounded by half-empty tables and broken joy. Lorraine leaned in and whispered, "I told you, you don't defy me and get away with it." Ariel lifted her head. "This isn't over," she said quietly. That night, Ariel removed her dress in silence. Marcus sat across the room, equally quiet. Finally, he said, "Tomorrow, I want the truth. All of it." Ariel nodded. "And I want justice. Because Lorraine Carter didn't just ruin a wedding. She started a war." Morning came without comfort. Sunlight filtered through the hotel curtains, landing on the untouched wedding gifts stacked neatly in the corner, symbols of a joy that never got to breathe. Ariel sat on the edge of the bed, still wrapped in the hotel robe, eyes swollen but dry. She had cried enough the night before. Now, something else had replaced the tears. Resolve. Marcus stood near the window, scrolling through his phone. Notifications hadn't stopped since the reception ended. Messages from friends, from co-workers, from relatives who had witnessed the spectacle. Finally, he turned around. "I didn't sleep," he said. "Neither did I," Ariel replied quietly. He sat across from her. "I need to understand something, Ariel. Not because I doubt you, but because lies spread faster than truth." She nodded. "Ask me anything." Marcus took a breath. "Did you ever take money from another man?" "No," she said immediately. "Never. I worked 2 jobs through college. You saw my tax records, my loans, everything." He nodded slowly. Why would she say that? Ariel's jaw tightened. "Because I stopped obeying her." Ariel began talking. Not emotionally. Not defensively. Factually. "My mother has always needed control," she said. "When my dad left, she made me her replacement. Emotional support. Financial backup. Obedient daughter." Marcus listened closely. "When I chose my own major, she cut me off for 6 months. When I moved out, she told the family I was rebellious. When I refused to give her access to my savings account, she said I was hiding something." Marcus clenched his jaw. "And the wedding?" "She wanted to plan it. Control it. Invite her church friends. Choose the guest list. When we said no, she said I would regret embarrassing her." Silence filled the room. "She waited," Marcus said slowly, "for the one moment you couldn't defend yourself." Ariel nodded. She wanted the biggest stage. That afternoon, Ariel opened her laptop. "I kept everything," she said. Marcus leaned in as she pulled up bank statements, loan documents, work contracts, payment histories. Every semester payment. Every paycheck. Every transfer. "No unexplained deposits," Marcus murmured. Ariel opened another folder. Text messages. Voicemails. Screenshots. One message from Lorraine stood out. "If you go through with this wedding without my blessing, I will expose you." Marcus stared at the screen. "She planned this," he said quietly. Ariel exhaled. "I knew she would try something. I just didn't think she'd go this far." Marcus closed the laptop slowly. "She didn't just humiliate you," he said. "She tried to destroy our marriage before it even began." He met Ariel's eyes. "And I won't let that stand." By evening, the calls started. Aunt Denise. Cousin Robert. Even Lorraine's church friends. Some were apologetic. Others were curious. A few were cruel. One message read, "Your mother said there's more coming. You should apologize before it gets worse." Ariel laughed once. Dry and humorless. "She's threatening me through family now." Marcus replied calmly. "Then we stop playing defense." They posted a joint statement online. Clear. Documented. No insults. Just facts. "False allegations were made at our reception. We have evidence disproving them. Legal steps are being taken. We ask for privacy." Within hours, the tone shifted. People started asking questions. And Lorraine started panicking. Lorraine called that night. Marcus answered. "Ariel doesn't want to speak to you," he said. Lorraine scoffed. "You think you can silence me?" "No," Marcus replied. "But you won't speak to my wife again." Lorraine laughed bitterly. "She turned you against me." "No," Marcus said calmly. "You did that yourself." On a microphone. A pause. Then Lorraine said, "If you release those documents, I'll tell people worse things." Marcus didn't raise his voice. "Then you'll explain them in court." Silence. The call ended. 2 days later, Ariel sat in a quiet office downtown. The attorney, a middle-aged black woman with sharp eyes and a calm voice, skimmed the evidence. "This is defamation," she said plainly. "Public. Intentional. Malicious." Ariel swallowed. "Against my own mother?" The lawyer met her gaze. "Blood doesn't excuse harm." Marcus squeezed Ariel's hand. "What happens next?" he asked. "We give her a chance to retract publicly," the lawyer said. "If she refuses, we proceed." Ariel nodded slowly. "For once," she said, "she doesn't get to escape consequences." The letter was delivered. Lorraine read it and tore it up. Instead, she went live on social media. "My daughter is ungrateful," she said tearfully. "She married a man who turned her against her own mother. I only tried to warn him." But this time, the comments weren't supportive. People asked for proof, receipts, facts. And when Ariel released her evidence, everything changed. The internet moved fast. Old posts resurfaced. Other relatives came forward. One cousin commented, "She did the same thing to me when I didn't give her money." A former church member wrote, "She lies when she feels disrespected." The narrative shifted. Lorraine deleted the live video, then her account. But screenshots live forever. Ariel watched it all quietly. "I didn't want to expose her," she said softly. Marcus replied, "You didn't. She exposed herself." Weeks later, Marcus and Ariel held a small dinner. No speeches. No microphones. Just peace. Marcus raised a glass. "We didn't get the wedding we imagined," he said. "But we got something stronger." Ariel smiled. "Truth," she said. "And boundaries," he added. They clinked glasses. Outside, the world kept talking. But inside, their marriage finally began, not with applause, but with clarity. Lorraine expected Ariel to break. She waited for a phone call. A tearful apology. A plea for peace. None came. Days passed. Then weeks. No messages. No visits. No response. For the first time in her life, Lorraine Carter was being ignored. And it unsettled her more than anger ever could. She told people Ariel was punishing her. She told others Marcus had brainwashed her daughter. But alone in her apartment, the silence echoed. Because Ariel had finally learned something Lorraine never taught her. Distance is not cruelty. It is protection. Most people assumed Ariel would back down. She won't really sue her own mother, they said. But Ariel filed anyway. The lawsuit wasn't loud. It wasn't emotional. It was factual. Defamation. Emotional distress. Intentional interference with marital relations. When Lorraine was served, she laughed. "She won't win," she said. But her lawyer stopped smiling after reviewing the evidence. The courtroom was cold and quiet. No mom. No daughter. Just plaintiff and defendant. Lorraine avoided Ariel's eyes. Marcus sat beside his wife, steady and present. The judge listened as the reception video played. The microphone. The words. The gasps. Lorraine's own voice filled the room. The judge paused the footage. "This was a wedding reception," he said. "Yes," Lorraine answered. "And you chose this moment to make unverified accusations?" Lorraine shifted. I was emotional. The judge nodded slowly. Emotion does not excuse damage. Lorraine took the stand. She spoke confidently, at first. Then came the questions. Do you have proof of this alleged money? No. Did you attempt to verify your claims? No. Did you send this message? The lawyer displayed the text. If you go through with this wedding without my blessing, I will expose you. Lorraine's mouth tightened. Yes, she admitted. And what did you mean by expose? Silence. The courtroom felt heavy. When Ariel took the stand, she didn't cry. She didn't yell. She spoke clearly. I didn't sue my mother out of hatred, she said. I sued her because love without boundaries becomes abuse. The judge listened carefully. Marcus watched his wife with quiet pride. She didn't just ruin a reception, Ariel continued. She tried to rewrite my character in front of everyone I loved. The room stayed silent. No one doubted her. The ruling came weeks later. Lorraine lost. She was ordered to issue a public retraction, pay damages, and cover legal costs. But the hardest part wasn't the money. It was the words the judge said last. Being a parent does not grant you ownership over your child's life. Lorraine looked up too late. Ariel was already walking away. Months later, Lorraine sent a letter. No accusations. No demands. Just apologies. I didn't know how to let go, she wrote. I was afraid of being irrelevant. Ariel read it quietly. Then she folded it and put it away. Healing didn't require reconciliation. A year passed. Ariel and Marcus celebrated their anniversary in a small cabin, far from noise. No drama, no fear, just peace. Marcus held her hand by the fire. You okay? He asked. She smiled. I finally am. They talked about the future. Children. Travel. Home. And the kind of family they would build, one where love didn't come with threats. On their second anniversary, they hosted a quiet vow renewal. No speeches. No microphones. Just promises. Ariel wore a simple dress. Marcus looked at her like it was the first time again. This, Ariel whispered, is the wedding I wanted. Lorraine watched photos online. Not invited. Not mentioned. Not because Ariel was cruel, but because consequences are real. And control, once broken, never returns the same way. Years later, someone asked Ariel if she regretted it. Suing her mother. Walking away. Choosing herself. Ariel answered calmly. No. I regret staying silent for so long. Because the wedding was ruined. But her life wasn't. Ariel didn't plan to tell anyone right away. The test sat on the bathroom counter while Marcus leaned against the sink, holding his breath like a teenager. It's positive, she said softly. Marcus laughed, then covered his face. We're really doing this. Joy filled the room, but so did caution. Ariel's first thought wasn't excitement. It was boundaries. Some people don't get access just because I'm pregnant, she said. Marcus nodded. We decide who gets close. That night, a distant cousin posted congratulations online, before Ariel had told most people. Lorraine must have found out. The message came at 2:14 a.m. I heard you're pregnant. I deserve to know my grandchild. Ariel stared at the screen. No apology. No accountability. Just entitlement. She typed slowly, then stopped. Deleted the message. Then she wrote something else. This child will grow up in peace. Please respect our space. She didn't block Lorraine. She didn't argue. She chose calm. And that hurt Lorraine more than anger ever could. The baby shower was small. Close friends. Chosen family. Laughter without tension. Ariel watched Marcus help arrange chairs and felt something settle in her chest. This was safety. When photos surfaced online, Lorraine called Aunt Denise crying. She's keeping my grandchild from me. Denise replied quietly, No, Lorraine. She's keeping chaos away from her child. That sentence spread through the family faster than any lie ever had. Labor was long, painful, exhausting, but peaceful. Marcus never left Ariel's side. When the baby cried for the first time, Ariel sobbed, not from pain, but from relief. She'll never fear her mother, Ariel whispered. They named her Elise. No one announced it online. No one fought over access. The room was quiet, and that was intentional. 3 weeks later, Lorraine showed up at the hospital. Security stopped her. I'm the grandmother, she insisted. The nurse replied calmly, You're not on the list. Lorraine demanded Ariel. The nurse returned minutes later. She says no. That was the first time Lorraine realized something permanent had changed. Ariel didn't go to therapy because she was broken. She went because she wanted to stay whole. The therapist said something that stuck with her. Some parents confuse access with love. Ariel nodded. I confused obedience with love, she admitted. Healing didn't erase the pain. It just stopped it from controlling her. Elise grew. Curious. Laughing. Unafraid. One afternoon, Marcus watched Ariel play with their daughter and said quietly, You broke a cycle. Ariel smiled. I refused to pass it down. That mattered more than any apology Lorraine could offer. Years later, Lorraine spoke at a women's group. She cried. She admitted she lost her daughter. She blamed fear, loneliness, pride. People applauded. But accountability spoken without repair doesn't rebuild bridges. Ariel heard about it secondhand. She didn't comment. Healing doesn't require participation in someone else's redemption arc. At a grocery store years later, Ariel and Lorraine crossed paths. No shouting. No tears. Just stillness. Lorraine whispered, She's beautiful. Ariel nodded. She is. That was all. No reunion. No explosion. Just acceptance of what is. The wedding was ruined. The relationship changed forever. But Ariel gained something greater. A voice. A spine. A family built on respect. Some people lose access not because they are hated, but because they refuse to change. Years later, Elise asked, Why don't we see Grandma much? Ariel answered honestly, gently, Because love should never hurt you on purpose. Elise nodded. That was enough. No dramatic reunion. No perfect apology. Just a woman who chose herself, and taught her daughter how to do the same. And that was the real wedding vow Ariel kept. To protect her peace. Always.